Good morning. This is John Bell with Senior Enrollment Solutions. It is May 13th. You are tuned into week number 6, Roadmap to Success. Welcome. It's 10 o'clock Friday morning. Hopefully, we all have some great plans this weekend. Wanting to go through expanding your business, more products for more revenue, and more importantly, more retention obviously creates more revenue for you as well. So welcome. I see a few more tuning in. It is 10 o'clock. Obviously, I'm going to respect your time in making through these webinars. If you are delinquent in logging in, or if you're tardy, or if you need to review something, all of these webinars will be recorded. We can certainly send them out to you, or you can request them. But once again, you are tuned into week number 6, expanding your business, more products for more revenue. So let's begin. Quick disclaimer for those of you who haven't tuned in, this 22-week roadmap to success. I know we've covered a lot of Business 101. We've had a lot of property and casualty agents on. We've had a lot of life agents on and annuity agents, Medicare agents. We covered a lot of business basics 101. And now we're going to begin moving into more of the health insurance, life insurance world. So if you are tuned in, you're a property and casualty agent, certainly you can learn something to help assist your consumers. If you're a realtor, this may not be the right time to be moving forward through our 22-week roadmap to success, as we are now going to begin diving in specifically to product knowledge. So welcome those of you that are tuned in. Now, obviously, tuning into these 22-week trainings, we're hoping that this will launch your business, launch it into another level. We're going to review topics that bring back 101. Keep it simple with your business, with your consumers. So important to be able to make sure that as you're moving through your business, that you're not overly indulging your consumers with too much information to confuse them or open up additional cans of worms with questions, things of that nature. Obviously, we're going to provide additional time for questions and answers. If you have additional questions, you can always leave them in the chat room. We'll be on for an extra hour. So this training should last from roughly 10 to 11. I think this training is a little shorter than some, but we should be about an hour's time, and then we'll be on for another hour. Many of you have sent in emails, Skype, text messages, etc., with additional questions, which we'll cover week to week as we move through this as well. Any additional topics or information that you may have or request, certainly please reach out. There's been a ton of CMS changes over the last 3 days' time regards to Medicare Advantage and prescription drug that we're going to cover in the next couple weeks. But certainly, if you want that information sooner than later, we'd be able to provide it, or any other information that you feel as though we've missed, certainly reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to walk you through it. Growth and comfort do not coexist. To do anything, either lose weight, gain strength, grow a business, there is some pain involved. No pain, no gain, right? There is something to be said about taking the time to really learn the additional product lines, which are so important. Even if you're not offering them, you can refer them out and get paid, or create a referral process with someone else if that isn't a product that's in your wheelhouse. And we went through that last week in regards to building that referral basis. So let's go through a brief review. Last week, we discussed renewal income. That is a huge thing, that if you do decide to leave this industry, how to set up a successor program, how to make sure that your children, spouse, family is getting paid on your renewal income, and more importantly, understanding that renewal income to make sure that you're able to budget out what your marketing thoughts are for this upcoming annual enrollment period, or 3 years or 5 years down the road. Budget your renewal income for upcoming marketing and business growth. Incorporating your renewals into your ROI figures. Calculating overall business drop-off rates. What is your attrition on your book of business? Some products have much lower attrition. If you write a 10-year term life policy, that consumer is most likely never going to drop off your books. But if you write a dual SNP policy, we know that they literally could change their plan within the next 60 days time, and you might lose that consumer. So how do you keep track of this attrition? And more importantly, how do you manage and understand where your funds are coming from for the next few months to put those funds back into your marketing to continue to grow your business? We'll cover that further here in a second in answering some of those questions. Your homework for this last week was to review your book of business. If you're a Medicare agent, how many Medicare Advantage plans have you sold? Say last 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or total book of business if you've gotten there that far in the last week and entering your consumers into an Excel spreadsheet or into a database. Out of those Medicare Advantage plan consumers, how many hospital indemnity plans have you sold? What's your ratio? What's your ratio of Medicare Advantage to dual eligibles? What's your ratio from hospital indemnity to final expense? How many life insurance policies have you sold? How many dental, vision, hearing plans have you sold? How many accident life insurance policies for those P&C agents that may be on have you sold? So understanding your mix of business is incredibly important. Your products and your state renewals. Now, nationwide, Medicare Advantage plans pay a flat per member per month. So you should know that if you have 100 consumers on your books, what your revenue should be month after month after month. But you should more importantly know, out of those 100 consumers, how many consumers do you realistically have that are the same from a year prior? And what is that attrition? What is your take-in rate, your stick rate of your business? Your Medicare supplement, as we discussed, here in Michigan, pay hot and heavy 1 to 3 years. Most states pay up to 6 years. So do you have your Medicare supplemental consumers organized? Do you know when their renewals are coming up, either off their birth date or off their effective dates, to be able to reach out to them year 3 and start that bell curve, start that renewal income, that commission at a higher commission level to another 3 years or another 6 years, depending on the state that you're in. For those of you in Oklahoma, once again, it pays hot and heavy for 1 year. For those of you in Oregon, you should be reaching out to your consumers during their birth month, as it's a guaranteed issued state, right? Along with several others. But you have to keep track of this consumer base, because that's what's going to affect your revenue 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Your whole life, your final expense, and your HIP. Hospital indemnity plans. Understanding your renewals out of all of these policies will really help you, once again, budget down the road, and budget not only down the road, but for this upcoming annual enrollment period. Your ancillaries and your standalones, for those of you that sell traveler's insurance or dental or vision, what have you, we broke down the difference of obtaining maybe a 45% commission first year and 5% commission years 2, 3, 4, 5, or just having a flat steady commission of say 24% lifetime of that policy, and how that's going to affect you once again down the road. You have to get this budgeted. It's so important, because otherwise you're just throwing marketing dollars out, not knowing over the long haul if they're actually going to come in and be fruitful to your business and actually expand your business, as opposed to imploding your business because your marketing efforts are in the wrong location. We had a lot of questions from last week, so I want to go through these a little more in depth. So one of the questions that we had was, should I be using different attrition rates for different products? And the answer is absolutely. And for different states, for those of you that are marketing yourself maybe in Illinois and Indiana, or marketing yourself in multiple different states, specifically on the East Coast. I know New Jersey, Delaware, New York, etc. So yes, you should have different attrition rates. We can help you set up that Excel spreadsheet. Obviously, we provided that to you in last week's webinar. If you wish to have or obtain that Excel spreadsheet, certainly let us know. But you should have different tabs on the bottom of that Excel spreadsheet for your Medicare supplement, for your Medicare Advantage, for your term life, for your whole life, for your annuity business, for your ancillary business, for your long-term care. They should all have a different attrition rates. Very, very important. Your med sup attrition rate, for instance, should be somewhere around 5 to 7% per year. You're going to lose about 5% of your book of business, especially with COVID. We're in an industry where people unfortunately pass away. So put that into your figures. On your Medicare Advantage, the Excel spreadsheet I shared with you last week, we assume a 20% attrition. Now, there are some carriers that hold that attrition longer, but as an agent, especially with the Medicare Advantage, we're relying on that carrier to stay in the state and not leave, stay in the county and not leave, have a decent product, right, and not have it go down. And we'll go through Medicare Advantage in about 2 or 3 weeks. But understanding how most of your Medicare Advantage carriers work is 1 year they have an amazing plan and they obtain a ton of the market share, or that's what the attempt is. The second year, they don't have that great of a plan. They manipulate their benefits a little bit to become more profitable. The third year, they really manipulate those benefits. They lose a tremendous amount of their individuals, their clients on their books, because they've dropped the level of coverage, hoping that most people don't notice, and then they become profitable year 3. So many Medicare Advantage carriers go through this reciprocal life of the first year being amazing, second year being okay, third year being not so grand, because that profit margin is what they're looking for to continue to grow their organization. So going back, yes, your attrition rates should be different. On a hospital indemnity plan, you could look at an attrition rate of 40%. On final expense, depending on if you're selling dual eligible consumers, Medicaid consumers that can't afford a final expense policy, but thought it was a good idea and we got them sold, their attrition may be 90 days to 6 months. Where if you're targeting those that are unhealthy, needing a final expense policy because they simply can't qualify for anything else, then your attrition could be more of that 10% drop-off ratio as opposed to a 40 or 50% drop-off ratio for that first year. So really focus on your own personal attrition. What is yours? That's really the question. Are you sending out Christmas cards, Thanksgiving cards, birthday cards, quarterly newsletters with a recipe on it, or changes with Medicare, or changes with life insurance, or changes with annuities, or what are you doing to stay in front of these consumers to make sure that you come up with your own attrition rate? I can tell you off thousands of policies written as an organization what our attrition is, but yours is going to be slightly different. It may be a little better, it may be a little worse, but at least we have an average. How do I assume stick rates and attrition when I am new to the industry? Reach out. Once again, we can give you at least a buffer or an average of what they should be. Most of your carriers and your contracts, specifically for the Medicare supplement and the Medicare Advantage, they put into your contract what they're looking for your attrition rate to be or remain. Most of your Medicare Advantage plan contracts are 78 to 82%. They're expecting that 80% of your consumers remain on your books for the first year. If your attrition is lower, please reach out so we can discuss why. Why are you losing so many of your consumers? Is it at the appointment? Is it after the appointment? Is it your follow-up? Is it the plan you're selling? The location that you're selling? There's so many factors in regards to why someone would fall off your books, but the reality is they should never fall off your books. You should be moving them from carrier A to carrier B and holding that attrition. We're building a relationship here, not just selling a policy. Are referrals and no-cost clients budgeted differently regarding your rate of return? Yes, absolutely. The average cost to a mailer lead is between $82 and $86. When you send out 1,000-piece mailer, co-op, not co-op, doesn't matter, right? Let's just go off the numbers. You send out 1,000-piece mailer, we know what the rate of return is going to be. Currently, it's about 1%. So you're receiving, call it 10 leads. Out of those 10 leads, you should be closing about 26 to 28%. You should close about 2.5, call it 2 to 3 individuals out of that mailer drop. We know, once again, out of that mailer drop then, that it just cost you roughly $82 to $86 to obtain that new consumer. Now, what you sell that consumer, how many product lines you sell that consumer is what's going to make all the difference. But that needs to be budgeted in, that I spend on average $80 per mailer drop lead. If you're purchasing hot internet leads, for those of you that are on, I see a few of you that are purchasing hot internet leads. We know statistically that an internet lead should cost you about $8, $8.50 if you're buying in bulk. If you're not, 10, 12, 15, all the way up to $28 per lead, depending on if it's a Zoom call, warm transfer lead, or if it's just a hot lead that you're purchasing online. The reality is your closing ratio should be about 11%. You should be closing 1 out of 10 internet leads. So do the math. If you're spending $20 on an internet lead, you need 10 internet leads, $200 to make that one sale. So that lead just costs you $200 for that sale. So that math has to be built into this. The longevity of that consumer has to be built into this too, but the referrals, there is obviously no cost. Maybe the cost of a thank you card, right? 25 cents at the dollar store, a stamp, and then maybe a $10 Wendy's or Tim Hortons gift card. We do send out referrals. I've sent out referral cards to all of my clients, $10, typically Wendy's, Tim Hortons. You pick wherever, obviously that they're going to have a location convenient to them. But that cost is minimal. You're talking $11, $12 in cost for that referral or for that no-cost consumer. And the no-cost consumer could be an event, right? Hey, SCS, I want to work the Wayne County Senior Fun Fest. Okay, we sponsor that event. All you need to do is show up. Is there a cost? Yes. Your gas, your transportation, wear and tear, your dry cleaning, more importantly, your time. You might be eating lunch out that day, etc. So is there a cost to these events for you? Minimal. But basically, it's a no-cost way to get into the Detroit Zoo Days, the Wayne County Senior Fun Fest, the Huckleberry Railroad, all these dozens and dozens of events that SES puts on throughout the spring, summer, and fall to plug our agents in to allow for you to go obtain leads. Those are basically no cost. So when you're putting those individuals into your Excel spreadsheet or working this rate of return, budget that in because it should be budgeted very differently than a lead itself. What is the easiest way to organize my book and understand renewals? Get an Excel spreadsheet started. Everything begins in this world off an Excel spreadsheet. We can help you create the formulas. We can help you set up the spreadsheet. I just need that data put onto a spreadsheet. So if you need to pay a niece, a nephew, a child, if you want to just set aside an hour a week, maybe Sunday evenings, you begin to take your book of business and you put it onto an Excel spreadsheet. That is the way to track your business. If you own a tire store, you're not going to walk in the morning blindly, not knowing what your inventory is, not knowing how many appointments you may have or what your sales from yesterday are. You're going to have to take accountability in regards to your inventory to make sure that you haven't run out of truck tires or whatever, that you're on top of the ball, that your business continues to run. Because unfortunately, if you're not staying on top of your business, you may quickly be out of tires. And if that's the case, you're not bringing in any revenue. So this is the part that no agents enjoy doing. We are all type A personalities, and I understand this. But this is so crucial for you to be able to budget out your marketing, to be able to come to us in June, July saying, look, this is my marketing budget. This is what I've come up with for my renewals. And I know what my book of business is truly worth, not I know roughly how many people are on my books. So keep that in mind in regards to moving through this spring and summer. Reach out to us if you need any assistance in starting these Excel spreadsheets or getting yourself organized. Let's begin week 6. More products for more revenue. First and foremost, homework. Make 3 to 5 prying questions for every single product line. I don't care if you don't offer small employer group, but you should have 3 to 5 questions that the next time you're at the dentist office, the next time you're at your optometrist's office, the next time you're at your OBGYN's office, wherever it may be, that you can have a couple questions, prying questions to be able to ask them about their health coverage to see if it is something that you could refer out to someone or see if it's something that you may be able to write. The next time you're talking to anyone, have those 3 to 5 prying questions. Aunts, uncles, neighbors, person at the grocery store who read my t-shirt, right? Asked me about your Medicare pin on my chest or whatever. Those couple prying questions are so important to begin that dialogue, but more importantly, to understand what that consumer has and what I may be able to do to assist them. So a few examples on life insurance. Are you concerned about your burial costs? No, I got it taken care of. Case closed. Have you reviewed your policy in the last 5 years? There's been a lot of changes in regards to interest rates and long-term care and living benefits, right? Critical illness, cancer benefits built into some of these policies. So if they haven't reviewed it in the last 5 years, pull it out. Let's get it reviewed. Do you have critical illness or long-term care built in once again to that life policy? Is that of interest to you now that a few years have passed since you've purchased your policy? Do you have any money in a low-interest CD or other account? Great conversation for a one-pay policy. If they say, yes, I have $12,000 sitting in a CD and it comes due in August, boy, we're reaching out in July to start this life policy to figure out how we can move these funds into a one-pay policy where they're not locked in to this CD any longer or locked into whatever they're locked into in life. So come up with those 3 to 5 prying questions just to begin dialogue. You don't have to have the answers. And that's where removing the fear out of this industry comes into play. The more knowledge you have, the less fear you have in what that consumer's answers may be. But come up with those prying questions to begin the dialogue. Do you currently offer dental to your staff? Do your children need orthodontia? Do your grandchildren have a life policy? Whatever it may end up being, you should have on the tip of your tongue 50, 60 questions that you've memorized. Put them on a 3x5 card, but memorize these questions to be able to dig to either feed your referral partner or increase your revenue and your longevity of that consumer. But if you don't ask, you'll never know. Trying to digest the number of products. Now, here at SES, I think we have 193 carriers currently. There are so many product lines out there. Just taking one carrier that may offer med sup, they also offer a cancer policy, an in-home health policy, a dental vision hearing policy. They offer a Medicare Advantage policy, a prescription drug plan, right? Standalone. They offer C-SNPs, D-SNPs. The list of products out there are enormous. Always be a student, sometimes a teacher, never an expert. If you don't know, it's okay to ask, and your consumer will appreciate it. hey, I don't have the specifics on that product. I'd have to review it with you. Can you give me a day or two? Let me get with my team. Let me find the answers for you. And then we'll reschedule a meeting, or I'll call you back on Tuesday at 10 o'clock and I'll review my homework with you. Everyone's in it for them, right? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Your consumer is no different. What's in it for them is I'm willing to give you my time at no cost to find something that's going to benefit your life. So, of course, they're going to answer my call. Of course, they want to know what information I came up with for them. I don't have to have the answers at that time. I don't need to be an expert in every field. I need to be able to have the resources to be able to reach out to SES to say, hey, I have this question, or hey, I have this proposal, or hey, this person's incarcerated getting out tomorrow and I don't know what to do with them. There are thousands of plans through hundreds of carriers. And I don't suggest that you go out and pick them all up, especially the newer agents that are on. We need to go through the SCS MedSup quoting engine, find the top 3 to 5 carriers in your state, and run with those 3 to 5 first. We need to submit a life questionnaire to SCS so that way we can find the right life insurance or annuity carrier, and then we'll help you through the contracting at that time. We'll help you through the additional certifications on the annuity depending on the state and depending on the carrier at that time. We'll help you understand the dental and the vision and the hearing benefits, or the differences in hospital indemnity plans, or whatever it may be, so that way you can learn what you're going to go out and represent to that consumer. But there's so many plans and so many carriers. I understand how it becomes overwhelming for the newer agents out there. And even for the seasoned agents that are on, we fall into kind of a rut where we get comfortable only offering that one product line. Some of us are only offering that one carrier through that one product line. You're going to lose out on that additional revenue. You're going to lose out on the referrals of your consumers going, aha, I know a gal. Aha, I know a guy. They mentioned to me a while ago when they were talking to their sister or whomever, and now you become that Medicare, that PNC, that all around agent, if you will, where even if you don't offer that business or don't even have a license for it, you're getting those phone calls for assistance. No one person can be an expert in it all. Don't try to be. Once again, have the resources behind you to get your questions answered, to be able to assist your consumers. But more importantly, you have to ask the question. All great salespeople utilize a back office. There are specific individuals that have specific duties, and those duties are that product line, to be experts in that product line. So if you are bringing up a question to someone about an annuity, or you just even simply ask them, are you concerned about your money running out in retirement? And they say yes, we'll help you gather the information to be able to at least get the appropriate rates and to obtain the appropriate illustrations to provide to your consumer. If you need help, if you want someone else just to write the business and obtain that referral, we'll certainly be happy to do so with you as well. Find someone with more knowledge than you to refer. Split the commissions. Get a referral fee. But you're missing out on all this additional revenue by not asking those questions, those prying questions to the consumer. Sales is more specific than most admit. In this particular industry, it's really crazy how we have so many life insurance agents that do not write annuities, and vice versa. We have a ton of annuity agents that don't write life insurance. We have Medicare Advantage plan agents that refuse to sell Medicare supplements. I've heard all the excuses, right? MedSups are underwritten. You have to change them every 3 to 6 years. You have to write their standalone prescription drug plan, etc. Where Medicare Advantage obviously pays you for life, but the attrition is very, very different on both sides, right? Medicare Advantage plans, you have to or should be reviewing their coverage on an annual basis. There's more customer service involved. There's more moving parts with networks and prescription drugs and transportation, leaving your consumers at the dentist office, etc. So it's so important to be able to offer both. I have med sup consumers in very affluent areas that have DSNP siblings that are DSNP because of a mental illness or because of a disability at birth, that they're in a facility. And if I didn't write both the med sup and the DSNP, I would have missed out on that opportunity. If I didn't ask the consumer initially, is there anyone else in your household that we could discuss Medicare with, or any other individuals, friends, family, loved ones that have questions, we wouldn't have gotten that far. I will tell you, 3%, that's the number. 3% of Medicare agents write both MedSup and MAPD and can remain on the fence in their sales tactics to be able to offer both without selling them one or the other. Become one of those 3%. Your revenue will skyrocket, I promise you. Your MedSup agents don't sell Medicare Advantage. We have many of those. Final expense agents only sell final expense. Why? Why not incorporate Medicare into that sale? Now, not at that moment in time, mind you, right? You need a scope of appointment, etc. Or if you don't want to offer a Medicare policy, find someone to refer it out to. So important to obtain those additional referral dollars or splitting commissions with someone, whether or not it's through SCS or whether or not you have a colleague out there with you. Find someone to partner up with to be able to give your consumer that full package of coverage that they need and desire through you, whether or not it's through 5 different organizations or 3 different organizations. Be that one-stop shop for your consumer. Incorporate additional products that are similar into your business. If you're a Medicare Advantage plan agent, you should have final expense down like nobody's business. You should also have hospital indemnity down. If you're not offering those products, you're missing out on revenue. If you're a med sup consumer, you should be able to have annuities and life insurance or dental vision hearing plans or cancer plans or critical illness plans or long-term care plans, etc., within your portfolio. Begin to expand this portfolio over the next few weeks as we continue to go through our 2022 roadmap to success. I believe next week or the week after, we're diving into individual major medical, and then we'll move on from there. And obviously, those of you tuned in, you certainly have the links and can review the upcoming webinars as well. Your location for referrals, include the SCS referral page. So we do provide you a referral link right on the SCS agent portal. You don't even need to log in. All you need to do is enter the consumer information. What type of insurance are you guessing that you discussed? Life insurance, annuity, that's fine. MedSup, MAPD, that's fine. But we do need to transfer that to the right department for the right agent to reach out to your consumers. So certainly put in the referral type. Once you enter your agent information into that area, cookies will save it so you don't have to enter it in again. You'll receive an automated email back saying, hey, thank you for sending us B. Jones. We can't wait to help them. And at least then you know that your referral is being worked. Additional referral resources are your financial planners. They don't offer Medicare, but it is a huge part of the financial process that a consumer needs to think through. Their health insurance, if they're turning 65 and their spouse is 62, that health insurance alone, if that individual's unhealthy and their medication costs are expensive, they could go through $50,000, $60,000 of their retirement before that individual or spouse is 65. This all needs discussed, but your financial planners do not discuss the Medicare health side of the industry. your life insurance agents that are out specifically helping those only with life insurance because they don't want to take the AHIP. They don't want to get certified. They don't want to pay additional appointment fees for out-of-state products. Please get with them. Your PNC agents as well, right? Property and casualty. They're the ones handling the boat insurance, the motorcycle insurance, the property and casualty insurance, liability, workman's comp, etc. Many of them do not offer life insurance. Many of them do not offer health insurance or Medicare. Pop into these agencies. Hey, I was just passing by. I've driven by your agency a gazillion times. I just wanted to come in and introduce myself. I'm a Medicare and health insurance expert. I'd love to get your referrals and come up with some kind of referral process, whether or not it's monetary or whether or not I can refer you, my property and casualty consumers. Do you need more business? And the answer is always yes, we do. We'd love your business. Your Medicare agents. For those of you that are on that are specifically final expense life insurance agents, go find a Medicare agent that doesn't wish to offer or may not even have their life insurance license. Years ago, in obtaining your license, we used to just purchase both, right? And many do still obtain that health and life. But once they started to split this to allow for you to only take your health or life, there are many agents out there that only have their health license. They can't offer final expense or life insurance at all. So if you are a life agent that's tuned in, welcome. Thank you for being on, and go find yourself a Medicare agent to refer that business back and forth with, as I know that you're obtaining questions on the back end as well. To review, know enough about a product line to gather basic information. I don't care if it's hearing, dental, or you want to start getting into more specifics with annuities, even a fixed annuity, whole life insurance, universal life insurance, final expense, Med Advantage, I don't care what it is. Come up with those 3 to 5 prime questions that you would feel comfortable memorizing and basically asking anyone that comes into your path to let them know what it is that you do and that you have the resources to help them with anything they need. I don't care what it is that a consumer needs. You need to get into the dentist office today? I'll get you in the dentist office with coverage today. I need to know what that consumer needs, as do you. And the only way you're going to find out is to ask and ask and ask and ask and ask. When you're at the appointment, visiting with someone, you should be looking at photos within their house, counting how many siblings they may have, how many grandchildren they may have, how many children they may have. You should be looking at the classic car pictures, etc., and obtaining all of this information to then pry and ask questions either on your telephonic call or in your face-to-face call, your belly-to-belly appointment. You should know really before asking too many questions, just by looking around someone's home, what's happening within their life and who you may be able to get into that 6 degrees of separation to then sell their siblings, their children, their grandchildren a policy for life insurance or whatever it may be. There's so many ways of getting into that 6 degrees of separation, but once again, you have to ask. Find, utilize, and refer your clients to more knowledgeable individuals that can help you either split those commissions, which SES is more than happy to do, or pay you a referral fee for thanking you to send them your clients. But you have to build this network of individuals around you, so that way you do have a few PNC agencies, you have a few whatever, Medicare agents, life agents, annuity agents, whatever it may be, to help bridge these peaks and valleys within this industry. The only way to find them is obviously to pop into their office or reach out via phone, or you're more than welcome to attend some of these events that are taking place where you can locate some of these agents, and we'd be happy to provide you the locations, dates, and times where you can go find those life agents or Medicare agents or whatever it may be to go meet and greet them and invite them into your business. Implement additional products for client retention and higher revenue. It is so important for you to do so. Your homework for this week. I want you to think through. I want you to begin locating partnerships for referrals. For those Medicare health life agents out there, I want you to just pop in to say a half a dozen, make a goal, 6, 10, whatever it is. And the next 7 days, I'm going to set aside 3 hours and I'm going to pop into a couple PNC agencies. I'm going to pop into a couple financial planners. I'm going to pop into a few health agencies or whatever it may be to be able to obtain and meet these individuals that write an entirely different product line as what I write. So there's no stepping on toes, but we can begin building a relationship where we're referring individuals back and forth. Know and utilize your back office support. Whether or not that's your SCS agent portal with stalls, objections, the quoting engine for MedSup, the quoting engines for your hospital indemnity, the life insurance, the final expense, utilizing that back office for us running the illustrations and finding a life insurance product for you, assisting you in understanding the differences or the nuances of final expense or hospital indemnity and the changes that have occurred. Utilize a back office to be able to efficiently make it through your day, to be able to provide your consumers the information that they need, and to be able to sell that product and build that retention. Review your carrier trainings and schedule training. It is really important to review your emails that are coming across. All of your life carriers, all of your annuity carriers, your Medicare Advantage, your MedSup, they all offer trainings. SES offers tons of trainings, 22 of them, plus lunch and learns this summer. There are so many trainings out there where I would prefer, that you're not being trained on how to sell carrier A, but you're being trained on the product itself. Watch that. As you go to some of these carrier trainings, they're going to teach you how to sell whatever it is that they're selling. And health insurance is no different than the printer industry, right? Brother printers want you selling Brother printers, and HP printers want you selling HP printers. And Dell, right? The list goes on and on. These carriers would prefer to have 100% market share in the industry. It will never happen. It should never happen. That will be a monopoly. So tread lightly with these carrier meetings. They will teach you how to sell that product through that carrier. So understand and tread lightly with that, but attend these webinars. Go through your emails and add them to your calendar if you have time, and make time to continue this training throughout this year. Set aside 1 hour a week. That's all it's going to take. 1 hour a week to learn a new product line. We have hundreds of YouTube videos, probably 200 on the SCS agent portal, another 200 plus on the Senior Enrollment Solutions YouTube channel, hundreds of other agencies, top FMOs, NMOs are creating videos for you. Brief 5-10 minute videos to teach you what a fixed annuity is. And that will allow for you to then ask the prying questions for your consumer. But 1 hour a week is what my expectation is up until October 1st, that you can come up with 60 minutes a week to be able to begin to learn a new product line. Reach out to SCS. We'll get a jump start on the information that is needed, the graphs, the maps, whatever information we can provide to you, we're certainly here for you, but begin to learn a new product line. Who offers that product line? What carriers are out there offering this annuity or this final expense or this MedSup? Am I already contracted? Which you may already be appointed or contracted to offer that cancer plan or that critical illness plan, because these carriers are offering so many products now under the same carrier name or umbrella. What are the commissions on that plan? Is it more beneficial for you to not look at first year, once again, commissions and look at the long-term lifetime commissions or 5-year, 6-year, however long that carrier pays out? I would prefer as an agent, you never look at commission levels. You shouldn't. You selling a life policy to make 5 extra points on that life policy, but it costs the consumer $8 more a month, that's not cool to do. You've lost your fiduciary role, right? You should be just offering the right product to them. But it is important for your spreadsheet, keeping track of your book of business, your rate of return, how much you're spending on marketing for those final expense, how much you spent on that annuity meeting that you had at Maggiano's or wherever you ended up going. What was all this cost? You have to get that budgeted, and your commissions and understanding your commissions are greatly important in all of this. Learn how to enroll your clients. That's another key factor. And I think that may be one of the biggest fears to an agent, is that they may wish or have the comfort level to be able to converse with a consumer on a product line. They may be pretty well versed in that product line as a whole because they've obtained enough information, they've reached out, they've sat in on webinars and trainings, but now it's the enrollment. And oh my God, what if they ask me to enroll? I'll tell you a quick story because I know we're running out of time, but years ago, I did not bring any applications to an appointment, none. And I just spaced it. They were in another vehicle. I swapped cars that day, etc. And I came to that appointment, and my initial words at that appointment was, look, we're not doing anything today. We're just going to talk. And we're going to figure out the right fit for you. And then I'm going to come back in a day or two, and I'm going to write you. And do I want to come back to an appointment? Never, right? One call close, one telephonic close. We'll get into all of that come July and August. I would never want to go back for the same product to write that consumer. But without an application, and this was prior to online apps, what do, right? But I'll tell you, the comfort level of that room and the level of sales resistance was gone because we all knew that I couldn't write you on anything, right? So it is important to know how to enroll your consumers. Who only accepts paper apps? How or who do I need to download an application for? Or not a paper application, that is, the carrier app, right? Aetna has Think Agent. HAP has Miramar, right? They all have their own different apps, and we'll cover that here in the next 2 to 3 weeks' time. But downloading whatever that carrier app is, if they have one, onto your computer and plug yourself in and practice once or twice to get through and be comfortable. So when you're at the kitchen table with someone or you're on the phone with them, screen sharing of all things, you're not having this cumbersome event where you're unable to find the right link or you don't have your password set up correctly and you can't log in and you got to call them back, or right? There's so much that can go awry in that actual enrollment or closing of that consumer. You have to go in and practice this. Pick one carrier a week, add it to your 1 hour a week product line knowledge. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes to go in and review an email from a carrier or to hop on the SCS 2022 where and how to submit applications form that we provide you all the links, etc., for all the carriers in your state. So recognize and practice how you're going to go in and write these consumers. As I mentioned, we tried to stick within an hour's time. I know this webinar was a little short. We will be on for another hour. If you have any questions, text us. We're here 24/7 to assist you. Phone us, email us, ask for help, right? You're in business. for yourself, but recognize that you're not in business by yourself. You have an amazing staff behind you and team behind you, all pulling for your success. So please, if there's anything that you need to get organized, to get your rate of return, to understand what your cost of marketing is, to understand what your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year game plan is, how to budget this, how to go through attrition, what the commission levels are, please reach out. We are here to assist in supporting your growth and helping you make as much revenue in this industry as humanly possible. So thank you for attending. I can't wait for next week. We're going to start diving into health insurance, I believe, the under 65. We're going to start getting into product knowledge. 2 quick things I want to bring up, 3 quick things that I'm going to review for the next month. 1, CMS just changed their rules May 9th. Everything has to be recorded. If you do not know what I'm talking about, I need you to reach out to us. All phone calls must be recorded within the first minute. Your calls at the kitchen table or your meetings at the kitchen table have to be recorded as well. We should be discussing where you're going to store this HIPAA secure information. But that is something that just came about 4 days ago, and you need to know what's going on before you get yourself in trouble. 2, CMS just changed all of their marketing materials. If you have dental, vision, anything Medicare Advantage related at all on your business cards, on your flyers, on your website, on your email, on your trifolds, on your lawn signs, on your tear-offs at the laundromats, on your table tents, on what have you, we have to get this approved. Current turnaround time right now is about 2 weeks. The closer you get to AEP, the longer that turnaround time is going to become. So please, mentally, by August 1st, latest, you should have your marketing materials to us to get that approval process started. So you have enough time to print off your AEP postcards. You have enough time to print off your marketing materials long before October 1st. I spaced the 3rd. I apologize. I'll get back to it on next week's training. So first and foremost, the recording of calls, the recording of your appointments. If you need further information, let us know or hop on CMS's website. And your marketing materials, which we'll cover here shortly as well. Thank you all for attending. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this amazing spring weather. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat box. Text us. Phone me personally, 248-707-1966. Reach out to Agent Services, but get your questions answered and get your homework done for me for this upcoming week, as we're going to continue to add week after week homework to you, my apologies, to assist you in increasing your level of production. Thank you all. Enjoy your morning, the rest of your morning, and I'll speak to you all soon.